Okay, let's dive right into this. You probably use ChatGPT to write emails, brainstorm ideas, or, I don't know, debug some code every single day. And honestly, it feels a little like magic, right? But do you actually know what happens under the hood when you hit send? Well, welcome to this explainer, where we're going to demystify exactly how ChatGPT works, explained simply.
To crack open this seemingly magical black box, we're going to break the underlying tech down into 5 totally intuitive blocks. We'll hit beyond the chatbot wrapper, inside the neural network, the power of transformers, tokens and text prediction, and finally, the human touch with RLHF.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, Beyond the Chatbot Wrapper, Unpacking the Buzzwords. We're going to peel back that super user-friendly interface and establish what ChatGPT actually is.
At its absolute core, it is a type of generative AI. Now, in the past, AI was mostly used to follow really strict predefined rules. Think of like a non-player character in a video game, or it just classified existing data. But generative AI, that's a completely new paradigm. It actually creates brand new content from scratch, right in response to your natural language prompts.
Drilling down a bit more, it's specifically a large language model, or an LLM. You can think of this as a highly specialized flavor of generative AI that focuses entirely on language. It is literally built to comprehend, process, and generate text that mirrors how humans actually communicate, which means you get great results without needing a computer science degree.
And honestly, the name itself gives the whole game away. GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. Generative because, well, it creates new text. Pre-trained because it's trained on a massively broad data set first before being tweaked for specific tasks. And Transformer stands for the specific neural network architecture it uses. That acronym perfectly sums up the whole shebang.
To really wrap our heads around the pre-trained part of that acronym, let's jump into Section 2, Inside the Neural Network, the Digital Brain.
Inspired by actual biological neurons in your brain, these networks stack artificial neurons in layers. You've got your input, hidden, and output layers, and they communicate using mathematical dials known as weights and biases. So say the network is trying to filter spam. These dials basically decide how strongly a trigger word like prize or money influences its final decision.
But having a bunch of artificial neurons with mathematical dials is one thing. The real question is, how does this digital brain actually learn to tune those dials to give you the right answer?
Well, it basically uses a massive, and I mean massive, game of trial and error in 4 steps. First, the forward pass, where it just makes a prediction. Second, error calculation, where it measures exactly how far off that prediction was from the actual truth. Third, it uses this brilliant algorithm called backpropagation to send that error backwards through the network. And finally, step 4, it updates its weights. It slightly nudges those dials until the output gets closer and closer to being spot on.
Which brings us to Section 3, the power of transformers, the T in GPT. This is all about a massive breakthrough from a 2017 research paper that literally made modern LLMs possible.
So, older AI models used things called recurrent neural networks, or RNNs. They read text sequentially, strictly left to right. This was super slow and meant they practically forgot earlier words by the end of a long sentence. But transformers? Absolute game changer. They use a mechanism called self-attention to read every single word in a sentence simultaneously. This lets the model totally grasp the context of every word and how they relate, no matter where they are. Plus, since it computes in parallel, it is just vastly faster to train.
Okay, so we've got this highly attentive pre-trained digital brain. Let's move to Section 4, Tokens and Text Prediction, the ultimate autocomplete. How exactly is it writing back to you?
Here's something that might surprise you. ChatGPT does not actually read whole words. It reads tokens. A token is just a small chunk of text, usually about 4 characters long. The model encodes these tokens as mathematical vectors in this giant multi-dimensional space. And the coolest part is that in this vector space, tokens representing related concepts actually end up living mathematically close to each other, almost like they're in the same neighborhood.
And to give you a sense of the staggering scale here, the original GPT-3 model was pre-trained on roughly 500 billion tokens. This data was scraped from all over the open internet, books, articles, random websites, basically allowing the network to chew through the sum total of human knowledge just to learn the underlying patterns of language. So, using all that data and its deep understanding of tokens, the model is essentially playing a gigantic finish the sentence game. When you hand it a prompt,
It breaks your words into tokens, zeroes in on the most important parts using that transformer architecture, and then just predicts the next most likely token, over and over again, to build a coherent reply. It is, for sure, the ultimate autocomplete.
But there's a catch, and that brings us to Section 5, the human touch, RLHF, moving from raw AI to a helpful assistant. Because a raw prediction engine trained on the wild, unfiltered internet, that would be completely chaotic, unpredictable, and probably pretty unsafe.
Right, so to fix what researchers call the alignment problem, OpenAI uses RLH, reinforcement learning from human feedback. Actual humans sit down and rank the model's responses. A reward model learns these human preferences, and then the AI is optimized to prioritize answers that get high human rankings. Essentially, this is charm school for AI. It teaches the raw model to have manners, making sure it stays polite, helpful, and safe.
It's honestly wild to look back at how fast this all moved. In 2018, GPT-1 proved the transformer concept worked. By 2020, GPT-3 scaled it up massively for developers. But it was that human alignment breakthrough with RLHF in 2022, slapped together with a super simple chat interface, that birthed the everyday ChatGPT assistant we all know today. And of course, that paved the way for the lightning-fast, multimodal GPT-4o models we're using right now. And looking ahead, the tech is already evolving way past simple text prediction. Newer models, like OpenAI's No1 family, are using what's called chain-of-thought reasoning. Instead of just blurting out the most obvious next token, these models actually take a pause. They use extra compute time to internally break down complex math or logic puzzles, step by step, before they even generate their final response.
But as these incredibly powerful models just continue to scale, practically devouring the entire open internet for training data, it leaves us with a really fascinating, maybe even urgent question. Researchers are already having to use AI-generated synthetic data just to keep training new models. So what happens to AI's evolution when we completely run out of human data to train it on? It's a pretty provocative thought to leave you with as you think about just how far this tech has come and exactly where it's heading next.